Travel Warriors. This is Steve.
And I'm George.
Join us as we unpack the challenges, excitement, preparation,
And passion for travel. Hey, Steve.
Hey,
How are you
George.
doing?
Great, and I'm excited about this episode because it's a first for us. You're on location. We won't give away that location just yet, but you're on the road and I'm on the road. That makes it kind of exciting.
It is, but last time we spoke, you were in McAllen, and I think you were heading to the airport pretty soon and heading to Central America. Can you tell us where you're at?
Well, I'm in San Salvador. I'm at the Barcela Hotel. This is a Spanish-owned hotel group that owns about 100 plus hotels. And so I've been here. Actually, I stayed at probably the three top hotels in San Salvador. The Barcela, of course, from reporting from. I stayed here. I came here on Friday. The Hilton, which basically was rebranded a Hilton as the hotel was previously a Crown Plaza. And it was starting to take reservations, I think. There was a delay, but I believe they started taking reservations in March of 2023. So they're still, kind of renovating and that kind of thing. And then the first night, I wanted to stay at the Intercontinental IHG property, which I had stayed before. I've stayed there before, and they arguably have the best hotel rooms and a great location and all that. But, I really think, and I was thinking about this earlier today, and I just don't think it would be fair to just deep dive into the hotel reviews without first mentioning and giving credit to President Bukele and his administration, and what an amazing transformation he has led since 2019 when he got reelected. It's just been amazing. And, something that I want to also share, first and foremost, is that my backpack is heavy today. It's my last
So,
day here, and I leave tomorrow. But my backpack is heavy because today I always save the last day to go visit my mom at a beautiful memorial park here in San Salvador and pay my respects. It was 10 years ago that I came here and I stayed at this hotel and had to come with immediate family to lay her to rest. So it's feeling heavy backpack.
so thanks for sharing that with us, Steve. Can you tell us, what your mom meant to you? I know we kind of talked about it before, but can you just give us, since it's been 10 years, can you kind of go in a little bit more detail about your mom?
Well, my mom was someone that was she was just an inspirational person. She went to San Francisco, sponsored by my grandmother's aunt, who had made her way up to the San Francisco area. And so my mom, I've heard, this is a rumor, that she didn't even really want to come to the States, but she was kind of forced to. She always had a love for her country, her people, and she was proud to be Salvadoran. My mom was a very conservative person, very passionate, and I think that she had a rough life, to be honest with you. 10 years into living in San Francisco, being a single mom, it was a struggle. Living in a small apartment near the Castro district, working two jobs. I think she pinned her hopes, her aspirations on me, and she made a lot of huge sacrifices. So growing up, I felt I owed that to her. And so my main goal in life, actually from way back, as far as I can remember, is to make her proud and to uh, make her see that her sacrifices were not in vain. But yes, this is the 10th year. I've been here the last 8 of the last 10 years. And I didn't come in 2018. I didn't come in, obviously, during the pandemic year, but I've been here ever since, every year ever since. My mom always wanted me to come here, engage in the country, engage with the people, uh, get connected to the culture. I can speak Spanish, but not as well as I wish I could. but I can communicate. I can talk to any person on the street. I talk to the cab drivers. I talk to the people in the bars, in the malls, in the elevators. And they all tell me that they feel like they've got a new country, like they got their country back. Because as you may know, back in the 80s, there was a problem with the gangs that formed in Los Angeles, both on 13th Street and 18th Street. These two gangs basically were deported back to San Salvador and, created havoc in the country. Over 120 Salvadoran nationals were extorted, murdered, raped. The most horrific crimes against these innocent people. There'd be buses that would be blown up and put on fire. You couldn't go back in some neighborhoods, you had to pay bribes just to get back into your house. If you left the house, you had to pay money. If you came back to your house, you had to pay money to get back into your house. I've been here since 2014. And I can tell you, back in 2014, 2015, it was really, really, there was a lot of tension. There was probably 30 plus homicides a day when I first started coming here. It wasn't until 2019 when President Bukele got elected that he created a territorial control plan and started deploying anti-gang squads to go house by house and capture these savages that preyed upon innocent Salvadoran people from the small, colonies and little villages, etc. Little small, like what we would think is a pueblo. So I really wanted to, give a shout out to President Bukele because I've seen it for myself. And not everything you hear about as far as negative press against him and some of the tactics that he's used, you have to be here. I've been here almost 10 straight years. So I can validate for you 100% of the people that I've had conversations with have all given support to everything that he's done so that they can get their life back, their community back, their country back. So I needed to say that and share that with you so that you have a frame of reference.
So, Steve, and that's fantastic and fantastic to the citizens of your country. And I think you told me this before. Didn't he brand those folks as terrorists? Is that what they did instead of gangbang?
Yeah, they created the largest prison in all of Central America called the SETCOM. It's a center that basically houses all of the gang affiliated extortionists, murderers, rapists, and they basically went down, like I said, literally door to door and got them out. And some of them were hiding. Some have tried to flee to other nearby Central American countries that they've been captured. But to your point, they're basically designated as terrorists. Just having a validation of being in a gang, which is the Mara Salvatrucha or the Barrio 18 gangs, just that alone will give you 20 years.
Wow.
And before they even start adding up all the other charges that you may have against you, which may be, for instance, extortion, money laundering, being part of an illicit gang, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I can tell you, George, that when I first started coming here in 2014 to 2015, I asked a friend of the family, hey, I'd like to go down to the historic district. Is there any? No, are you out of your mind? You cannot go down there. You will get robbed. You will get robbed. You couldn't wear, I like to collect timepieces. I can tell you, I've been bringing my timepieces with me. I've never felt unsafe, especially on this trip. I can't even describe to you the feeling it is to have the freedom to go pretty much anywhere and not worry about, is there a gang nearby? Am I going to be all of a sudden people are going to ambush me, kidnap me, that kind of thing. People are out. It's a Sunday night. The mall's open till I think 10 o'clock tonight. They're having festivals. They have a brand new library state of the art. If you haven't had a chance to see any of the YouTube videos, please check it out. We're going to see a brand new state of the art library. That the money was funded by China, who's pouring a lot of money into this country. They have a gigantic footprint here, but the Bukele administration is getting things done, and it's doing the number one thing that they've got to do, which is to protect their citizens first and foremost.
If I remember right, when you first started going there in 2014, 15, 16, I believe you were staying at an Intercontinental, I think. But didn't you tell me one time there was like a bomb squad or something that something like that? I'm trying to remember exactly that. Does that ring a bell?
A bomb squad.
Or something that they were scanning, or maybe they were scanning cars coming in for something. I vaguely remember. I could be making this up, but I just remember thinking, my gosh, like, is Steve going to even get back into the country? He's going to get blown up.
Uh, I'm drawing a blank on that, George. Drawing a blank on that. Getting back to what you referenced, the hotel, the Intercontinental. It's called Riel Intercontinental. It's part of a very small hotel group. I think it's Riel Intercontinental. I think also has intercontinental hotels in Costa Rica, also I believe in Guatemala. So the one here, the Intercontinental, I heard is where the famous soccer player from Argentina, Messi, they came here to play a soccer game. They actually were staying there at the Intercontinental. So as now the Intercontinental is it's located is right across the street, which can be accessed through a sky bridge, a street bridge, overhead street bridge. You basically walk from the hotel lobby, go up a couple set of stairs, you cross the sky bridge, and you're now into the mall. They probably have 300 plus stores. I like staying there because, well, the hotel had the best rooms, hands down. They still do. But I mean, when I say that, I'm talking about oversized king rooms with the very thick divets and very spacious and very well decorated, modern. It has that brand standard that is a global standard for a executive king room anywhere in the world. But you could go to Metro Center Mall, and right there you have access to a pharmacy, Subway, donut shop, four maybe different brands of coffee shops. And so you could buy souvenirs and go see a movie and all this kind of thing. So that aspect of it is really good. What was been happening since 2014, George, is that they've been importing a lot of cars into this country. Part of that is because it was so unsafe to use public transportation that people found any way, by any means necessary, a way to purchase a car. A lot of the cars that they imported from the States were cars that were basically, they were totaled. And I'm not exaggerating. They bring them into the country like totaled, you know, and they make them look like new. I mean, I don't know what kind of magic dust they have, but they make them look brand new. And interestingly enough, in this country, I just found out that cars that are imported here that have been totaled in the U.S., they're not designated as having a salvage title like we have in the U.S. If you purchase a car that's been totaled, it's got a salvage title. Here, if it looks new, drives new, shiny like new, there's no discount when in fact the truth is that it was a total car from the U.S. So one of the things that I see is that there's an enormous amount of cars in the country, which is creating some really dense pockets of traffic jams, et cetera, that kind of thing. So that's the Intercontinental. They've got two good restaurants, and they also have a Brazilian steakhouse. So that is a great place. Some of the Miss Universe contestants were staying at the Intercontinental in December of last year. All your major sporting teams from other countries, from the Caribbean, that come for inter-country Caribbean countries, Central American countries that play in these conference type soccer games, they stay at the Intercontinental. Conventions and big weddings.
So, Steve, I have a question for you. So, if someone is one to come to El Salvador, what would you recommend them go see and do if they had to stay there for a few days, 3 or 4 days? What would you recommend? What would be an itinerary?
Well, the beauty of this country is that you could see a lot of the major tourist attractions in a couple of days because the country is so small. It's about the size of Rhode Island. And in one day, you can go on an excursion. I mean, this is assuming you leave like at 8 in the morning. You can go to El Tunco, which is one of the main beaches. You can go to Surf City. You can have a nice lunch there on the coast. From there, you can go hiking in the volcano. From there, you can come into the city, go to the historic district, have desserts, and then you can go to a nightclub here in Zona Rosa. You can do all that in one day. So 2 or 3 days. Again, I can send you some links to maybe some of the 10 most popular things to do here in El Salvador. You can go on a coffee plantation tour. You can go to Mayan ruins. You can go to Surf City. You can again go to the historic district. Lots of that, lots of those kinds of things.
Can you tell us briefly about Bitcoin and El Salvador?
Well, it's one of the only countries in the world that adopted that as a legal currency. You do see it mostly in Surf City, where you can use Bitcoin, but it's not been widely adopted. Rather, uh, initially the country created a wallet where they would deposit $30 into that if you open up an account with that wallet called Chivo. And what I'm getting from most of the people that I've talked to about it and asked them about it is that most people took the $30 that everyone got in the country from the president to open up a wallet like a Bitcoin wallet to purchase the coin, and they basically took the $30 and that was it. They took the money and they never, used the Bitcoin feature. So it really hasn't been something that most of the people here in this country use as currency. They're still holding on to cash and a debit or credit card. And unfortunately, I don't think they've really broken ground on Bitcoin City. If you come to this country and you ask a taxi driver, where's Bitcoin City? Take me there. Unfortunately, it hasn't been built. And they haven't even broken ground on that. I will tell you, George, that I've never seen the influx of affluence that I'm seeing now in the country. This could be from the Bitcoiner people, investors, people from other countries that are deciding to move here. But, I'm starting to see real wealth in the country. I mean, yesterday, I was astonished to see a brand new Porsche 911 Turbo. Uh, and I was stunned when it was right next to me as we were driving, 140,000, arguably 140, $150,000 car. Uh, you see the big, all the BMWs out here, 3 Series, 5 Series. You'll see Audis. So there's affluence that's kind of coming into the country. One of the things that they're also doing is they're building a lot of luxury condos, what they call towers, and these are going for 350 to 400,000, which seems like a bargain for us. But a lot of the real estate prices that I've been seeing are absurd. I think that they're starting to really speculate that a lot of the Salvadorans and what we call diaspora are going to be coming back wanting to retire, purchase property because now the country is safe. Now they can return and actually start building something towards the retirement. And what I'm seeing is that the prices are just really going up like crazy. Uh, yeah, and some of these housing developments, George, the quality of the construction is very subpar. What they call luxury here, okay, is not luxury the way we think. This is not Italian marble. This is not that kind of thing. That's not luxury. It means two different things. But for the standard of living here, it's luxury.
Right. Is it a you want me to stay here? Is we'll have to talk about that one day. Um,
Yes, yes,
well,
yeah.
Steve, it's so exciting to hear your country make a turnaround. You know, and you see it from 2014 to 2024, and how proud your mom would be to see that her country has made a big turnaround. That's just fantastic.
Well, George, I think something I failed to mention in the beginning, I want to describe Salvadoran people in three ways. Salvadoran people are welcoming, they are polite, and they're humble. And they're very proud of their country, and they're very gracious to foreign visitors, foreign tourists, because they want to basically show off the country, but also extend the hospitality and the warmth to the foreign visitors. And I'm seeing tourists that I've never seen here before. I've never seen African American people in groups come here to this country. I'm seeing them now. I'm talking to them in the elevator. I ran into four of them that were from North Carolina, and we had a nice quick chat because as you know, we both spent a lot of time in North Carolina. I've met people from Spain, from Argentina, from the Dominican Republic, from Puerto Rico, from the U.S., from Canada, from Korea, from China. So,
Well, that was a question. You had mentioned that China's poured in a lot of money. Have you seen a lot of Chinese? Uh,
well,
uh,
not a lot, but there is a big Chinese embassy walking distance from here, just around the corner. They've been, hey, look, whatever they poured into this country, trust me, they're going to get it back. Whether it's having a port in the eastern part of the country, as you have those shipping lanes, develop and the port, they're going to have VIP, first parking rights, for their ships to bring all their goods from China. They're making a huge investment in the country, but let's not kid ourselves. They're going to make that back, and much more. You are seeing a lot of, again, there's people moving here, George, from the States. There's
wow.
people moving here. They're selling everything they have in the States. Maybe one of the two people, are originally from here, or they have parents here, and they're just moving here. And you have a very small segment of people moving here from the States that are into that eco tourism. They want to live out there in the mountains they want to have a small place and get away from it all and all this kind of things. But yeah, people are moving here now because of how safe it is.
Well, that's fantastic news. And love hearing it, and can't wait for us to go down there together. Can't wait for the travel warrior Steve&George to do an episode down there together, and for you and I to check out the country together.
Yes, you'll love it.
Also, can't wait. I know we're going to do. Can't wait for you to tell us about the hotels. I think that'll be another episode where you kind of talk about all three hotels that you stayed at on this trip.
Well, here's one last thing, and that is something really funny happened. That wasn't so funny at the moment, but this happened at the Hilton Hotel, and you know how I get. If something's not in good order, and I'm going to call it like I see it, and there was an incident there at the Hilton, and I'll have to send you, when we do that episode, of course, I'll send you a couple pictures that are related to the story. But it was quite a thing. It's actually kind of funny, something that happened to me, and I had to address it with management, and then it became something kind of satirical. Anyway, Georgie, I want to just thank everyone for tuning in to this episode, and I want everyone to join our ever-growing community of travel warriors, and let's continue this journey together.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can stay updated on our latest episodes. Until next time, safe travels.